Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SAS Viya Release Highlight Show. I'm Tiago de Souza, and today we'll be talking about what's new in SAS Viya as of February 2024. We'll start off with our rundown segment presented by Sasha Karpinski, Alexei Vodilin, Sophia Roland, and Kumar Thangamutu. Sasha will kick us off with 3 new features using SAS Viya in Excel. Then we'll hear from Alexei about new data quality steps and a new link control in custom steps. After that, Sophia will walk us through the Trustworthy AI lifecycle, registering Python models, and model versioning. And finally, Kumar will show off the new business glossary in SAS Information Catalog. After the rundown, David Vike will highlight some great new features, including improvements to the expression editor in SAS Visual Analytics, new SAS Studio steps, and new custom steps. We will wrap up our Release Talk segment interviewing Wilbram Hajiyager about SAS Enterprise Guide integration with SAS Viya. But before we jump into things, I want to make sure that you know about the biggest event of the year, SAS Innovate. The SAS Innovate conference will be at the Aria Resort and Casino in Las Vegas from April 16th through the 19th. SAS users, business leaders, and partners will join forces for 4 days of learning, networking, and inspiration. But instead of talking about it, why don't I just show you? Check out this exclusive sneak peek of SAS Innovate. So what do you think? There's no better place than SAS Innovate to dive into breakout sessions, super demos, hands-on workshops, and new products, like the soon-to-be-released SAS Viya Workbench. It's a lightweight, standalone development environment built for the creation of high-performance models in your preferred language, whether that's SAS, Python, or R. For all this and so much more, visit innovate.sas.com to register. I hope to see you there personally in April, but for now, we got a show to do. It's time for today's rundown.
I'm excited to kick off the new year with the release of a powerful new feature from SAS for Microsoft 365. Users can now access their SAS Viya jobs from within Excel, define the prompts associated with those jobs, run the job, and insert the results into their Excel worksheets. It's easy to refresh the prompts with different values and update the embedded content with just one click. Speaking of Microsoft integration, 2 features that were in preview have now been made generally available starting in January 2024. The ability to load your own Excel data to SAS Viya, and being able to create and run SAS programs via a new code editor in Excel. I hope you're as excited as I am about these new features, making the integration between SAS Viya and Microsoft more powerful than ever.
So now we are in SAS Studio and we can start with a new link control first. In order to show you how it works, I'm going to take one of my starter templates that we have in our library of templates. I'm going to use basic rank template. This custom step allows us to calculate a rank for a specific column in our dataset. So rank step is utilizing a rank procedure to do this calculation. We can take a quick look at this procedure in SAS documentation. We have the full description of different functionalities that this procedure can give us. So why wouldn't we add a link to this documentation into the step? Now, if we go back in SAS Studio, you can see that there is a new link control in our common libraries dialog. So we can add link control on the canvas. And I can also copy a link to the documentation that we've just seen here and add this link into the configuration of the step. Now, link field, which is mandatory in this configuration, contains the link to the documentation, and I can also fill a label for this link. For example, I can say read proc rank documentation. Link label field in this case is optional. So if I would remove this from here, then you can see that the link is displayed on the canvas without any specific label, so just a plain text. But I would like to use label, so it makes the interface much more accurate. Next, if I go into preview mode of the step, now we can see how this link will look like for our end users. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at data quality steps. These two new data quality steps, clean data and parse data, are now available in data quality category of steps. Now, let's take a look at how we can use them in flows. I'm going to open one of the flows that I have here. So, the use case for this flow that I have a pretty wide table with information about different individuals. It's called contacts. What I would like to do with this table is I would like to extract a few attributes from this table, apply data quality rules for standardization and cleaning data from this table, and then I will use the attributes that I've got from the table in my further processing. For example, I can use them for clustering or surviving ship purposes. So this is something what we typically call entity resolution scenarios. To get started, I would like to just select a couple of columns from this table that I'm going to use. I have the information about contact name here and the information about state where this individual lives. As we can mention, we have obviously some potential data quality issues. Specifically, state information is represented in different forms. We have some abbreviations and we have some long names of a state in this case. So I'm going to standardize the definition of the state. And then I would like also to parse the information about contact into last and first name of the individual. So for that purpose, I'm going to apply one of our new data quality steps, clean data. Once this step is available on the canvas, the configuration for this step starts with QKB locale. QKB Quality Knowledge Base is a unique module that we provide from SAS for our data quality purposes. This is a customizable database that you can use for performing a variety of different data quality rules. In my case, I'm going to select English and United States locale because my data are coming from the US in this case. Once I have this selected, I can work with any of the available data quality rules in this case. I can do standardization, casing, gender analysis, identification analysis, and pattern analysis, all as part of one step. Now, as part of our parse data step, the second new step that we also introduce now, we can do parsing and extraction information. In my case, I'm going to apply parsing to a contact name. I have selected a definition name, and now I can also select which tokens I would like to see in the output.
Hello everyone, Sophia Rowland here to talk about what's new with SAS Model Manager. We've had a great start to the year, releasing 3 new features so far. First, our Trustworthy AI lifecycle workflow is now available. This workflow enforces standards and best practices set aside by the AI Risk Management Framework defined by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, also known as NIST. Our workflow includes steps to ensure that the training data is representative of the population that is impacted, as well as ensure that the model is not causing disparate impact or harm to a specific group. Furthermore, you can ensure that your model remains accurate over time by creating human-in-the-loop tasks to act when additional attention is needed. Next, we released a new step to register Python models from SAS Studio flows directly into SAS Model Manager. Since flows are used to commonly prepare data and train models, a natural last step of the flow is to register that trained model into SAS Model Manager. Once the model is in SAS Model Manager, the model can be compared, managed, tested, validated, deployed, and monitored alongside all of the other models developed for that analytical use case. And finally, users can now use any version of a model within decision flows, score tests, publishing, and performance monitoring. This work has been released over the past year, with the final piece becoming available in January. We have lots of great things coming down the line in 2024, so stay tuned for what's next in SAS Model Manager.
Hello everybody, welcome to the February release of SAS Information Governance 2024.2. The first feature we're going to look at, in fact it's a component, is the glossary to define and create business terms and assign terms to other assets. Here I'm going to search for a retail asset and look at an existing data set that are profiled, and also see whether any terms assigned to this table. I can see, look at the columns and the terms on the overview tab. You can see there are no business terms assigned. It provides more common language across different departments in an organization, if you will, so that way user can have a common language when they talk to each other. And I see here there are no retail business terms to assign. So I'm going to go to the glossary component, and here is the terms view right now. First thing I'm going to do is import, but before importing, it's better to have the term types, which are like templates for a term, created. In this case, I've created a retail measure term type with one attribute, a multi-line text field, which is expression, to add calculations for columns that has common calculation across an organization. Here I'm going to choose a retail glossary import file in the CSV format. Before importing, let's quickly look at the import file, right? So if you look at the import file, I can quickly see the hierarchy that I'm trying to create here. A retail parent glossary, and then a retail glossary and custom common measure, or the second level, and the rest of them are third level that is attached to either reader glossary or common measures. And you can also see the term type and the expression column added there. I'm going to import that and quickly see the status of the job, the import job, and it has been completed. Now I can see the hierarchy of glossaries along with the definitions that has been added.
That was Sasha Karpinski, Alexei Vodilin, and Sophia Rowland with the rundown. If you'd like to learn more from them in person, SAS Innovate is your chance to do so. Sasha Karpinski has a session called SAS for Microsoft 365, elevating excellence with the latest in Microsoft integration. And Sophia Rowland has a session as well called Enforcing Trustworthy AI Standards in Analytical Projects. Our next expert on the show will also be at SAS Innovate with a session of his own called LLM Ops with SAS Model Manager. It's time to dive into the SAS Viya verse with the one and only David Vike.
We have gotten an upgrade to help you write calculated items and advanced filters much easier than before. When you go to New Data Item and go to Calculated Item, the editor, expression editor, comes up. And you might already notice that on the right-hand side, we have this new white space that currently doesn't hold any information. Now, let's say we want to calculate the average of our count column in here. So we're going to go to Functions. We're going to look for the average and just select it from that dropdown. Now, instantly on the right-hand side, you see that blank space we had before kind of opened up. One is we get a description of what the average actually does and how the context works. So it's an aggregation context that is specified here, and we get an explanation of the two values that we can supply. We can then go in and up here add the context from a dropdown, and below we can even select the measures from this dropdown. So let's select count, and you can see it automatically updated the code that has been written in the center panel. So that makes writing these expressions a lot quicker, especially if you're not familiar with the coding interface or you don't like it that much. So that's a super helpful tool here. And the same can be applied if you go to filter an object and select the advanced filter. You actually get the same interface. So let's say we want to add a function in here, like, for example, we want to get the ceiling of a number. And then here on the right-hand side, again, you can see an explanation of everything. And you get, again, the drop down to just fill in the values for you. Same idea, super helpful to work you through building up more complex filters in Visual Analytics. Rounding things out on the SAS Viya side, we, of course, and as we always seem to do in SAS Studio, where we have gotten an insane amount of new steps. You can see them all on screen right now. So you can see we have gotten 11 new steps in this release. I have grouped them to make this more manageable. So first up are visualize data steps. We get a bubble map, scatter plot, and text map added to our repository of steps that are available to us in the visualization category. Next, we get 4 new statistics steps: coin toss simulation, poker hand probability, same birthday probability, and t-tests. Then a new category has been introduced, which is the machine learning one. And this one is for calculating moving window principal component analysis. And the second new category of steps that has been added is the statistical process control, which gives us analysis of means, control charts, and Pareto analysis. Now, the one thing I want to showcase on how it works is that you can now add flows from the file system to your flow as a subflow. Previously, you could, of course, go into SAS content and just drag and drop any old flow from there inside of your flow and make use of them so that they would be run as part of that outer flow. Now, with the new release, we can also add flows that are stored on the file system. So here you can see this is a classical file path that has been attached to my environment, and I can drag and drop even flows from there into my flow, and this flow itself is stored inside of SAS content. So you can mix and match however you would like to work, which is a great way of integrating these two worlds. Now, let's shift gear and take a look at new custom steps that were released in the last month. First up is the catalog list agent step. This provides you with a list of all the available information catalog agents in your environment. The step is supposed to work in tandem with the catalog run agent step, which will trigger an agent run, and you can do it both synchronously and asynchronously. Next up, we get a new step in the data quality section called cluster analysis that enables you to compare pairwise of rows within a single match cluster to determine whether each pair is really a match. Next, we get a whole new category or flurry of steps which deal with shapefiles, and these 5 steps actually enable you to get information about the shapefile, import them, reduce them, promote them, and create geo providers to make use of your custom shapefiles in Visual Analytics. Next up is a new category of custom steps that works with LLMs, the prompt catalog step. This step allows you to submit queries against a large language model, helps you test, save, and promote your prompts to a catalog to help you better understand what you are doing. And this currently supports both offline models like Llama 7 billion, Llama 2 7 billion, and online models like OpenAI. So this is a great new tool. Going along with that theme, we also get a new step around vector databases, and this one is to hydrate a Chroma vector database with documents that contain embeddings. And you can also query those ChromaDB collections so you can access the stored embeddings and make use of them in subsequent tasks. That's it for this month's release. I hope you enjoyed the new updates and see you next time.
Fantastic as always, David. We're all excited to talk more about SAS Viya with you at SAS Innovate. But let's keep the ball rolling now and talk with Wilbram Hajiyager about SAS Enterprise Guide integration with SAS Viya in this month's release talk. Hello, Wilbram. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tiago. Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming on today. Let's get right into it. So, SAS Enterprise Guide, right? SAS users are no strangers to what SAS Enterprise Guide is. It's one of our most popular products. And you're here today to talk to us about integrating SAS Enterprise Guide with SAS Viya. Can you break down the general idea of this all for us?
Yes, you're absolutely correct. SAS Enterprise Guide is a very popular product. It's included in all of our major SAS offerings, and we estimate that we have thousands and thousands of users using this product on a daily basis. Our favorite application for data preparation, data analysis, and reporting requirements is what we hear many of those users tell us. They love the powerful desktop experience, and they don't want to leave that behind when starting to work with Viya 4. The exciting news is that they don't have to. With this new integration capability, they can continue to use Enterprise Guide and also take advantage of SAS Viya 4.
That is exciting to hear. Thousands and thousands of users, definitely a crowd favorite. But how does this integration all work? And why is this an option a user would want to explore in the first place? Why not just keep using Enterprise Guide as is?
They definitely can continue to use Enterprise Guide as they know it today. But with this new capability, they can just flip a switch and then their code runs against a SAS Viya 4 environment, which brings them the scalability benefits of running in containers and allowing their IT organization to more effectively manage their deployments. But going back to the benefits from an individual Enterprise Guide user, with Viya 4 come a wide range of new capabilities. Just to mention a few, like Python support, advanced analytic capabilities for AI and machine learning, and the list goes on. So that's why there's a lot of good and new exciting capabilities that you would want to take advantage of.
These new capabilities that you mentioned, how can someone take advantage and learn and employ these new capabilities through this integration? And specifically, can they utilize AI through this integration as well?
I can keep talking about this, but let the software speak for itself and have a look at a demo. We're here in SAS Enterprise Guide 8.4 and have opened a project where some parts run on a local SAS9 server and some parts run on a remote SAS9 server. We want to have this project run on SAS Viya 4. So we will first define a connection to our SAS Viya 4 server and then modify the project so it takes advantage of that connection. All the data we use in this project is accessible from Viya 4. Using the Connections panel, we will define our connection to our Viya 4 server. So we're adding a new one, specify a name, specify where the server lives, and in Via 4 you do that using a URL, and then we'll save it. We can now start using this server. So we'll start with the first node in the program, and it's currently pointing to a remote Windows server, and we'll specify that we want to use that Via 4 server instead. We'll clear this quickly, and then we run this selected node. It has created the table on the Via 4 compute server. So that's why you see a new table icon here. So what I need to do now is specify on this random sample task that it should take its input from this new table and not the table that was on a different server. And we'll delete this one. And then again, we'll run this task, which produces output, creates a new table, and same as before, we'll specify that this correlations task should use the table on the Via 4 server. So now the first part of our flow is ready to run on Via 4. We could continue that for other nodes in the project, but if you have a lot of nodes, that is a better way to do this with just a few mouse clicks. So we're going to Tools, Project Maintenance. We'll tell it to ignore all the changes that we have made. We'll start from scratch, so don't save it. And it shows us which servers are used in this Enterprise Guide project. So we're going to replace our local server with a Via 4 demo server, and the same thing for that remote workspace server. Also use our Via demo server. And that's all we need to do. Save this. And now we can run this project, which will run completely on Via 4. This finished processing has created all the tables, and just like you used to in the past, you can simply double-click on a table and see the contents of that table. But this time, the table is retrieved from a Via 4 compute server. So we have first selected individual nodes in the project and changed the server association, allowing it to test small parts of the flow. Then we use the project maintenance tool to change servers across all nodes in an Enterprise Guide project and point it to a Via 4 server. I will now show you a simple flow that takes advantage of one of the new capabilities in Via 4, in this case Python, which allows you to embed Python processing in your Enterprise Guide project. Python allows you to embed Python-based logic in your SAS code. You can load SAS tables into a pandas data frame, then apply Python logic, and have the results stored in a SAS table again. In this specific case, we simply use a Python library to create plots. Let's run it. And the graph is shown in the SAS results window inside Enterprise Guide. This concludes this quick demo, showing you how to modify your existing Enterprise Guide projects to run on SAS Via 4 servers, and an example of how to take advantage of some of the new capabilities in Via 4.
That was a great demo, Wilbram. Like you said, it's better sometimes to just let the software speak for itself. If we wanted to learn more about EG integration with SAS Viya, where would you point us to?
We have a lot of information available. Of course, we have our documentation, which describes all the features. We have training, and we have dedicated training for some of the capabilities that I mentioned, like optimizing your code for Via 4 and specifics for taking advantage of these high performance analytics. We have articles on SAS communities, and if you want to see the software for yourself, then I would definitely recommend to go to SAS Innovate in Las Vegas, as it will be shown on the demo floor. In early May, we have an Ask the Expert webinar where we have more time and can go into much more technical details of how the product works and show you some more examples. And lastly, if you don't have SAS Viya available right now, you can sign up for trials on the SAS website. And there is lots of information available, and the links will be provided in the chat window.
You heard it here first, folks. If you want to get firsthand experience on enterprise guide integration with SAS Viya, you got to go to SAS Innovate. And also check out the Ask the Expert webinar happening in early May, as well as documentation that we have available through articles on the SAS communities and various other places. Wilbram, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Tiago. It was great to be here and be able to talk a little bit more about all of the new capabilities that Enterprise Guide has to offer. Thank you.
There's no way around it. SAS users love SAS Enterprise Guide like Sean Evans loves hot sauce. Let us know what you think about the new integration. If you're watching today's show and are thinking, you know what, I want to try out this whole Viya thing for myself, you're in luck. We offer a free 14-day trial, which gives you full access to SAS Viya capabilities, including preparing data, creating and viewing reports, building models, automating model deployment, visualizing event streams, and more. Check out the link for that below. If you're watching this on YouTube, why not give us a like, subscribe to the SAS Users YouTube channel, and click that bell so you'll get notified for new videos and when we go live for our next show on April 25th. This month's show is in the books now, but the one in April will be extra special because that one will take place in Las Vegas at SAS Innovate 2024, reporting on all things SAS Viya. Until then, comment below and let me know what topics you'd like to see in future shows. I've been your host, Tiago de Souza. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in Las Vegas.